Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I got you my review, demo, swatches, comparisons, and 3 eyeshadow looks using the brand new Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals eyeshadow palette. As soon as this new Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metal palette dropped on Anastasia's website, I went ahead and purchased it. Actually paid expedite shipping to get it right away, and ABH didn't disappoint. They delivered the day after, but I did a poll on my Instagram that, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, come and follow me there, because I keep you posted of new makeup releases. I give you close-up of things. I'm also on TikTok, by the way. If you are on TikTok, come and follow me there. But anyhow, I did a poll because I had I had received on the same day both this palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills and the Patrick Ta blush and highlighter palette from this holiday 2022 collection, and I asked which one you want to see first, and this is the one that won. So if you haven't watched my review video, I will highly suggest you to do so. But going back to this baby right here, this is the second Anastasia Beverly Hills palette in this year. I don't know if to call it a holiday palette or not because we don't know that yet, but it is the latest palette and it has the same format as the Nouveau palette where you have 12 different shades. It's actually made in the USA, just as the Nouveau palette, just as previous palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills, with a shelf life of 12 months, and it costs $55. By the time that you're watching this video, most likely this palette will be available in major retailers, and the day that I'm uploading this video, I know there is the Sephora Friends and Family event where you get 20% off. You have to be invited by someone that works at Sephora. They can send you an email and then you can get a code. It's only one-time use, but just in case, I don't know, if you know of someone that can do that for you, that would be great. I don't work for Sephora, so unfortunately I cannot provide you with a discount, but I can provide you with links where to get this palette. They will be all listed on the description box below for your convenience. So here you go. This is the Unicard. Very nice. Honestly, when I saw it, I really love the new presentation from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's kind of this bronze tone, cool tone bronze tone that looks just incredible. And then let me show you. Here's the baby. This looks kind of like leather-like. I really love this change for Anastasia Beverly Hills. I used to love a lot her velour kind of packaging, but they got dirty fairly easy. Now, this shade is, again, kind of like a bronze pewter tone that really kind of looks like leather. And then let's just open it up. Voila! There you go, 12 different shades. This new format, she got rid of the double-ended brush, which I think is just perfectly fine. And here we have a combination of matte shades, some satin shades, and metallic shades with a lot of texture. You have, as per usual, your nice size mirror. Take this out. And there you have it. Close-up look right here. Super pretty. And I know some people said, well, why rose metals if there's not much rose in here? But when you're seeing it in person, believe me, there's a lot of rose right here. All these two shades right here, all these shades right here are rosy toned. Even this dark brown has a little bit of a rose undertone. The only different shades that are not rosy are Haze, Nova, Heavenly, and Nocturne. That's all. So pretty much it's a rose tone, but kind of like muted, deep, more grungy, more giving us those fall winter kind of vibes. And by the way, if you're new here to my channel, welcome to all of you. I do film in natural light. I'm melting down right here, melting down. Literally, I'm sweating because I'm very close to a window and it's really hot today. So hopefully this footage will give you the best representation of how the product looks like if you were looking at it in person. And I do not use filters, just in case. But there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and let's start with swatches. I'm gonna just swatch it row by row. Rose Quartz, a metallic pink champagne with a sparkling reflex. Royal, a sparkling burgundy with pink reflex. Haze, a metallic silver gold with multi-dimensional reflex. To me, it looks a little bit more greenish undertone. Rose Fire, a metallic fiery copper with multi-dimensional reflex. Sunrose, a matte peachy brown with a sparkling reflex. Nova, a metallic golden bronze with multi-dimensional reflex. Heavenly, metallic platinum gold with multi-dimensional reflex. Element, metallic rosy brown. Ashes, a matte grayish taupe with a sparkling reflex. Dune, a matte rustic brown. Nocturne, metallic gray stone with a sparkling reflex. And Noble, a matte plum brown. So you can tell a combination of kind of like burgundy tones, rosy tones, coppery tones, some taupe with green undertones. Let's go first with Ashes and a Scott Barnes number 62 brush. And I'm taking the shade and applying it above the crease and on the outer third. Super soft, very blendable. And this is definitely a cool tone shade. BK Beauty 202 brush and the shade Noble. And I'm taking the shade and applying it on the outer V. SONIA G Worker Pro and the shade Nova. And I'm taking this shade and applying it on the outer third, but not covering the matte shade. SONIA G Builder Pro and the shade Haze. And I'm applying it on the inner third of the eyelid all the way until it meets with the shade Nova. Next I'm going to go to the shade Heavenly, just with my finger. And I'm just going to apply it right on the center of the eyelid. Just to give a little bit of almost like a halo effect. Going to the shade Ashes. And I'm going to take it on the lower lash line. I went ahead and applied some falsies, and I also apply a little bit of the shade Heavenly with my REPHR 03 brush right on the inner corner. And these just give a little bit of oomph to the look. As you can tell, it's a very deep, grungy kind of look, ideal for the fall season. And oh, by the way, I apply also a little bit of the shade Noble right here on beneath my lower lash line on the outer third. Just a tiny bit to just make it a little bit deeper, because I'm gonna go for 3 looks. I don't want to put too much underneath. But now let's go to the other eye and create another eye look. Let's go for the warm tones. Going with a Scott Barnes number 62 brush and the shade Sun Rose. And again, I'm taking it above the crease. Oh, it's very, very pigmented. Wow. That has a lot of pigment. I wasn't expecting so much pigment. I mean, I should, coming from ABH, but this is quite a bit. But it's also easy to blend, and it's a true coppery tone, like yes, some rose coppery. Going next with the shade Dune, and I'm using a BK Beauty 202 brush. And applying it on the outer third. Wow, so much pigment. This is a beautiful rusty, like a brick red kind of tone. SONIA G Builder Pro and the shade Element. And I'm taking this shade and doing kind of the same thing that I did on the other eyelid. I'm applying it on the outer third, but not completely to the outer V. Just kind of like right in the middle. Super pigmented and beautiful shade. I mean, this could be a one and done shade. I have been like swatching a little bit right here too. And as you can tell, they have so much dimension. They are very beautiful shades. SONIA G Builder Pro and the shade Rose Fire. And I'm taking this shade. Ooh, so beautiful. inner portion of the eyelid all the way until it meets with that other shade. So pretty. BK Beauty 204 brush in the shade Sunrose, and I'm gonna take it below my lower lash line. SONIA G flat definer in the shade Dune, and I'm taking the shade and applying it on my lower lash line, like the outer third only. Also a little bit on my upper lash line, but just on the outer third. I'm just trying to flick it a little to just give a little bit more dimension. And just for curiosity, this is a cool tone shade, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tap it again and do kind of the same thing that I did on the other eye look and just take it right in the middle. Okay, that's very cool tone, but I mean, nonetheless, it looks really nice. I do this trick because I do have hooded eyelids, and it's a really good way to kind of like make my eyes kind of open up and don't make them look smaller for what they already are. With REPHR 03 brush, and since this is the lightest shade on the palette, I'm going to use it to put it on my inner corner. You don't have to. This is not a must, but if you're used to, you can. This is kind of like the way that it will look. I just went ahead and applied some falsies, and here you go. This is the second look. Going for the third eyeshadow look with a REPHR number 16 brush, I'm going to go to the shade Ashes. And I'm taking this shade and applying it above the crease. BK Beauty 202 brush in the shade Novel, taking it on the outer third. SONIA G Worker Pro and the shade Royal, and I'm taking it on the outer third. SONIA G Builder Pro and Rose Quartz, and I'm taking it and applying it from inner portion until it meets with the shade Royal. With this same brush, I'm going to go to the shade Element. This has more of like a brown tone, and I'm just going to take it right here on the outer third, just a little. BK Beauty 204 brush, and let's go for Ashes. And I'm taking it on my lower lash line. SONIA G flat definer in the shade Novel, and I'm taking this shade and applying it on the lower lash line, but just on the outer third. Let's go for Heavenly. Just tap it a little. REPHR 03 brush, and going again to Heavenly. Applying whatever is remaining on the brow bone. Here you have it, friends, my third eyeshadow look. And now let's go really quick into comparison. A lot of you were comparing this new palette from ABH to the new My Dream palette from NATASHA DENONA, and I have to tell you, no way. It's different. Yes, it does have a little bit of the coppers, a little bit of those warm tones, but not enough. Not enough. This palette is more grungy, it's more deep, it's more cool tone, it's more not intense, but just cooler in tone. I'm just going to show you a couple of the shades that I think that perhaps it will give you that, you know, a little bit of a vibe for this other palette, but no, in general not. And I actually remove a little bit of the swatches here to compare it, but let's go for this right here, this copper tone, which is more fiery actually, this shade. And then why I picked this shade? This shade is not even here. Okay, let's see, let me find another one. Let's see, I think let's do this. Okay, let's just do this one right here. Yeah, no, perhaps for this shade, but no, it's too cool. And then this shade for this shade, and it's more reddish in tone. So there you have it. That is with NATASHA DENONA My Dream. Let's go for an OG from ABH, and it's Modern Renaissance. And I think, perhaps more than anything, I mean, Modern Renaissance has a lot of matte shades, and perhaps the matte shades are those who I feel that may be very comparable. I have these two. I did already this. Let's go for Cypress, right? And maybe Vulgar. So we have Vulgar right here, very close. Okay, this is a little bit deeper, but very close to. This shade is too warm, but I'm just gonna put it right here. And this one is the cool tone. And I'm gonna go to Red Ochre to compare with the shade Dune, which is this one down here. Yeah, there you go. So definitely we can see that matte shades of Modern Renaissance are very comparable to the new one. I mean, very, very, very close. Not all the matte shades, because like I said, Modern Renaissance has a lot more mattes than this new Rose Metals palette. And then let's compare it with the Nouveau palette, which it was also launched this year. This is a little bit more, perhaps even adventurous, if we should say that. But there's not much about this palette. Let's see, let's go obviously for the green tones. And then this shade Metro. Okay, I'm just gonna put it right there. This one with Dune. Going with this shade. This shade is way too deep. Well, let's do Fleur to compare it with Sunrose. So I have Sunrose here, and then this shade right over here. There you go. So that's Nouveau and the new Rose Metals. I went ahead and applied a little bit of bronzer, blush. Yes, I use this baby right here. When you see this review, I already have the review up of this new palette from Patrick Ta. But yeah, I just use a little bit of these and a little bit of these on the top of my cheeks. Anyhow, friends, going to this palette. What I think about this palette, the formula is beautiful. I find out that it's very close to the Nouveau palette. Perhaps I find out that with this shade, I got a little bit more fallout, but in terms of formulation, all of the formulas here are very creamy. Even the metallic shades are very creamy, and these shades that they look extra textured, I was really impressed that whether swatching them or applying them on the eyelids, they were not textured. I also love that here we get more of like true fall vibe. I remember when the Nouveau palette came out, a lot of people were saying, oh my gosh, this is too fall, nothing for summer. And I did my review. I did so many looks with that palette, and I said, no, 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 this palette, it will serve you all year round. This one I feel is giving more fall and winter vibes. And I mean, the name Rose Metals, it has the metals, and it does have a lot of rose tones. If I wanted some variation, in a way I wish that it would have been a 14 pan palette like before, in terms that I would have liked to see a little bit of another shade aside to this shade right here. I think this shade is beautiful, and keeps everything on that very like deep dark metal, like very, yeah, very cool tone vibe. But I wish to have seen perhaps, not to take it out, but actually to see another shade with some, not rose gold, but icy cool tone rose tone, but way, way lighter. I would have loved to see that, but I'm sure by now, we all have a shade like that in our collection. This palette is, I will say, to be honest with you, more than any other palettes, this is the modern take of Anastasia Beverly Hills and Makeup by Mario palette. To me, this is what we have been kind of begging for, is like bring back Makeup by Mario, the collaboration, but I'm sure it could have been for many reasons, for contract, you know, and all of that, that they were not able to bring it back. And I think this is a really good way to give us that kind of look that was once upon a time makeup by Mario with ABH, and just in a modern version. I honestly really love it, really enjoy it, because it's mainly cool tone, but with these three shades right here, and even with this brown shade over here, you can achieve, like you were able to see, a copper tone look that is a little bit more warm tone. So if you want to go on the warmer side, definitely you can. And I think there's a really good balance between, there are not that many matte shades, but even on the satin finish, they are not so, they are satin, but they are not metallic, that it really balances out all the finishes between the mattes, the satins, and the metallics. As far as fallout goes, I mean, you were able to see I was doing my makeup with all of my foundation on, and I didn't found much fallout. I mean, like, if any, like I said, the shade Dune, there was kickback, yes, but key, as always, with every eyeshadow that you have, just tap off the excess and then you apply it and it should be fine. Blendability amazing, and pigmentation, none of them were like a dot or no. Really good palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And not only that, I really love that outer packaging. Look at that. I really love this metallic. I think it, you know, it will be really nice to clean, super easy. And by now, I'm pretty sure it should be available at Sephora, at Ulta. Again, I will be leaving all the details where to find this palette on the description box below. Okay, my friends, and I think this makes it for this video. I hope that you really enjoyed it, that you find it helpful, informative. I will love to know from you. Are you planning to pick up this new ABH Rose Metals palette? Are you intrigued for it? Put it in your wish list, or perhaps you have already got it. Let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below while you're at it. And if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Come and follow me on my Instagram, because right there I keep you posted of the new and upcoming beauty releases, not only on the makeup, also fragrances, beauty, jewelry, and much more. Also, if you're on TikTok, please come and follow me there. My handle at TikTok is a little bit different than the handle that I have here on my YouTube channel and Instagram. Both of those platforms is Hey Jackeline. On TikTok is Hey Jackeline. If you can help me grow my platform on TikTok, I will greatly appreciate it. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share it with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.